Hello, my friends. Today we're talking about very important aspect in advertising, which is proportion between branding and sales activation. So, for many clients, whenever I worked in advertising agencies, all the clients, in fact, were forced by the sales department activate and invest a lot in the sales activation campaigns. So marketing teams often thought that the more they invest in sales, the more they will earn. However, the conversion rates were absolutely terrible. They did sell some products, but they didn't retain the customers. They didn't build that customer loyalty. And in fact, they were serving to newest audiences again and again and again. And therefore, these people didn't build a relationship with the company, and all this budget put in one person was put to another person again. So those are sales activation campaigns which are not necessary work. So how to create advertising campaigns which actually work based on science, based on the research, and based on the method which is called 60/40 branding versus sales activation, created by Les Binet and Peter Field. My name is Eva Woda. I'm business and brand creator and a freedom coach. And if you like to work with me and build your brand, personal brand or business brand, let me know because I've been in the advertising industry for over 20 years. I did work with huge companies, corporates, and small companies, authors, coaches, course creators, and I help people to find themselves and companies find themselves, brand themselves, and show up confidently. So if you want this for you or for other people, let them know or contact me and let's work together. So let's get back uh, with this beautiful light, which is for some reasons changing the mode. Let's get back to the story. So, when we build the brand, branding campaigns are usually very expensive. And we are going to scratch the surface of this topic today. I'm going to create more videos on this topic because it's really important to understand this fundamental principle. So, when I read Les Bennett's and Peter Field research, the 60/40 method doesn't really look like 60/40. So for different mediums, it will be slightly more, slightly less. So 60/40 is an approximation. So when we talk about the TV advertising campaigns, it's 60/40. When we talk about social media, it's slightly different. And the proportion really depends on how often you appear in front of your customer's eyes. How many touch points do you have with your customers before they make the sales decision? So, also, it's related to the known factor, which is called fast thinking and slow thinking, pretty much long term or strategic thinking. And there are two types of brain are involved in these decision making processes. So we're going to talk briefly about all these parts and concepts in this video, and hopefully I will raise more interest in your mind and you are going to read more about these researchers and you're going to learn more about how to create brand campaigns and sales activation campaigns which actually work effectively for your business. So when we talk about branding, branding is the foundation. Branding campaigns have its pluses and minuses, pros and cons. When we talk about branding campaigns, they're usually very expensive. So, why so? First of all, these are long term campaigns. We're looking for the reaching more customers. We are looking for the market penetration, but we are not selling anything in this process, which means we don't really have direct conversions. Because guess what? The branding campaigns, in case of branding campaigns, the conversion is not straightforward. So when we work with branding campaigns, we need to understand that we're setting up the foundation for our advertising campaigns to work. I don't know what's going on with my lights today, but it celebrates something, I guess. So when we work with branding campaigns, we start thinking about how our customers think. how our customers connect to us, what our customers need to learn about us. We need to build the story which connect with our customers, which build that emotional connection, which build the trust, which builds the recognition, which build the long-term relationship foundation. So think about the relationships. You just met a person. I'm going to use this metaphor. So you just met a person on a dating app, let's say. So this person have no relationship with you. This person is not connected with you. This person doesn't care about you. You start having small conversation, pretty much surface level conversation. You probably like each other. It's all right. But to build a relationship with this person, it will take time. It will take more connection, deeper conversations, and after all, you just need to see the compatibility. It's all about the values between brand and customer. And in case of people, obviously, compatibility of many other different levels. The background, understanding how you act in different situations. So this work pretty much for people and for relationships with the brand, because according to different researches, people build relationships with the brand in exact same manner as they build with people. So same emotions are involved, same processes are involved, and people expect the same from brands as they expect from other people who they're dating. So if you want to build these relationships, the loyal relationships with your customers, you will need to work with branding campaigns. Well, now let's describe what are sales activation campaigns. Sales activation campaigns usually have very specific goals. The sales activation campaigns sell things. So, return on investment or direct conversion, this is right metrics for sales activation campaigns, because we can set our advertising on conversion and see how many purchases people make, and then we can work with this advertising campaign to understand what we need to change to increase amount of sales. So there are many numbers involved in this situation. We are not going to talk about this yet. The sales campaigns looks like very effective. And when we talk about the market which is in stagnation, when we talk about the recession, when we talk about crisis, we understand that people tempt to put down prices, offer some discounts. We all running around shiny objects or like Black Friday or something like that. And these look like very great solution for the situation. However, when we invest all our money in these campaigns, we don't build the recognition, we don't build the brand. And guess what? When we talk about the net worth of the business, when we want to sell the business, when we build the business the way it's supposed to be sold eventually, when we build the business which has its own value, whether you are in business or not, then in this situation we talk about business which has that recognition, has that understanding what they stand for in a market. So with sales campaigns, you are just any other company without a brand. So next day somebody can replace you with a better product with a cheaper price or something like that. The level of competition, if you only focus on the sales campaign, is such that people tend to ignore you eventually, and you will need to invest more and more money to sales campaigns. And this situation, they become seriously ineffective because the budget becomes such that conversion no longer cover it. So your return on investment is going down without branding campaigns. So I probably said something really complicated, but let me make it simple. So when we make branding campaigns, they're super expensive and don't have conversion, direct conversion, but they set up the background, the understanding for customer relationships. When we set up the sales activation campaigns, we invest a lot in them, but we have return on investment all the time. But without branding campaigns, this investment in the sales campaigns growing exponentially, and then the return on investment is going down. So we end up with very ineffective campaigns eventually if our strategy is only focused around the sales activation campaigns. Therefore, when Les Binet and Peter Field, I'm sorry, I'm so bad with remembering names. When they were researching the market, they created a very interesting guide when they told what proportion do you need to have to create effective advertising campaigns. And overall, it comes to the situation that it has to be 60 to 40, where 60 percentage is goes for brand activation campaign and 40 goes to sales activation campaign. So how does it work? And I will try to create it like in a explain it to you to a very simple way because I don't like to use jargon. Nobody need any jargon. We really need to focus on our customers who need to understand all this matter in a very simple way. So 60-40 method, how does it work? Imagine that you create a world, a universe, or environment for your customers. Overall, it's often called customer experience. So, customers experiencing your brand. This is how they build relationships with your company. This is how they build relationships with you as a leader when we talk about personal brand. So, when we talk about this relationship, people need to have extra amount of connections with you to figure out certain things. They just need to understand you. They need to believe that you stand for the same things as they are. They need to build this trust, connection, recognition. Anytime you pop up in the timeline, they will be like, oh, I know this guys. I actually going to watch this video because last time it hit something. Now, you are not talking about sales. These relationships are often built through free content, through available content, through freebies or low hanging fruit products, which like up to £10 products. So when we talk about this, we building relationships, we investing in our customers. We also set up certain metrics. We need to understand that how our customers communicate with our campaigns. We need to understand that if our customers enter our communication, say through social media, they pass towards sales will look like something what we design. Now, also, when we create strategic brand advertising, we need to understand that if our customers get to us through, say, email, or they get to us through advertising on social media or through OH or something like that, so they get to us through different routes, we need to set up metrics how many people get through this route to our purchase. We need to follow this idea how customers get to communication. When we do understand the customer journey, we understand through these metrics how many customers get into connection with our brand, how many of these customers turn into converted buyers, how many of these customers actually suggested to somebody this brand or this service, how many customers left on the way because they were not excited enough, how many people get into connection with us through the comments or emails or something. So all these metrics will be good for you to set if you have more or less big or medium business. If that related to your personal brand, you will have lesser metrics. However, I would still recommend you to understand how people connect with you. So when you set up the customer journey, when you understand how many times people connect with you, what content did they read, what content you expose them to through each of this journey, so and they make this decision. When you understand these stories, you can create content which convert more effectively, and this is when the effectiveness of campaign is growing. That's why one of the key element of the branding campaigns is a marketing research. And if you hire the agency which is creating the report made up absolutely in their heads, and I saw these reports a lot, you just don't need to hire such agencies. I would absolutely recommend you to follow your logic, and I would recommend you to research the market yourself. That surface level research will help you to understand the market overall. And then when you hire the agency, you will see how their results are comparatively to yours. So, when we talk about the big companies and more professionals, more expensive agencies, that's a different story altogether. Most of the time, my clients have medium level companies, therefore, they often end up with not the best research companies. So, having idea what's going on in your market, it's always great idea. So research, build customer journey, create the content which connect with people emotionally, because branding campaigns always works through this value, emotions, your why, the resonance with your story. This is super important. Now, when we build this background, and over this background, we can retarget our audience. We can communicate to this audience in variety of ways, depending through which channel they get to this journey. We can deliver them the sales activation campaigns. And guess what? When we talk about statistics, the conversion rate from the cold audience sometimes is just like 1 to 2%. And 1 to 2% of conversion is a very bad return on, on investment when we talk about the cold audience. So, warming up the audience, it's not about showing them your sales campaign 100 times. It's about building the connection first and then give them the offer. And also, when you build these connections, you need to expose your customer to the fact that you know about their pain. What do you know about this pain? How much you can relate to this pain? So, when we talk about this, you help people to understand you know about their pain, you know what they're dreaming about, you have solution for them because you've been there, or you have people experts who build this system for you. You very much aware about this issue, so you build this connection, and now when you offer solution, you're already familiar to your customers, and they are more likely to take your product or service in consideration versus other businesses who didn't have this connection with their customers. So this is why when you take this idea of 60% branding and 40% sales activation campaigns, your advertising become way more effective. It become effective not only for your business brand but also for your personal brand. So many people do different mistake, and I also want to highlight this when we talk about personal brands. For coaches, authors, experts, course creators, they throw a lot of free content to the market. So this free content is mostly webinars, freebies, or low level kind of products like 20 pounds, 10 pounds, or something like that. So they deliver tons of this content. First of all, the quality of the content for 20 pounds or for $10 is not that high. And that's a huge mistake. We're going to talk about this in the next video, why that costs you a lot to create not the best product straightforward. So this is one thing. Think number two, when we try to build relationships with people after we subscribe them to our email, and often these emails are just random, not emotional, not really speak about our values, and only sales all the time, offers, offers, offers. We can see that it doesn't work as well. In fact, for the personal brand, it can have the severe situation after that, because people may lose the trust if you always only sell. So when you deliver the value, when you help people to get to that solution, you can describe the road, you can describe them how to reach to their first great results on their way for free or for low level. But people are solution oriented, so you always need to deliver the understanding, the solutions, the result, perhaps the small results, so that people can test, that people can trust you, people can connect with you. Now, in my experience, there are plenty of people who don't yet build this connection with you, or they're not ready to buy from you. However, at this stage, if you deliver them the excellent products through your social media, or with your freebies, or with your low-hanging fruit products, in this situation, people are more likely recommend you even before they purchase your product, because they already been in connection with you. That's why live videos or videos overall are such a powerful instrument for coaches, experts, and authors or small businesses, because it doesn't cost a lot, which means you get your exposure on certain level. And organic traffic right now getting just 8% of the exposure, which is not a lot. However, for free, it's a lot if you're able to build emotional connections with your customers, if you're able to get into their heart, build these relationships. And again, I'm not talking about the manipulation. I'm not talking about the fact that you are building these connections just to sell. You really need to turn your mindset towards, I want to serve people. I want to serve them with my YouTube videos. I want to help them to get the result. I don't care if they will buy or not. I want them to get the result. I want them to see the direction. This is all I can do for free. But if they want me involved, if they want solution, then what I offer is cost money. It's all right. And I think people understand it as well. You don't need to deliver everything for free. That's also about this balance. So often for personal brand, for these relationships with authors and coaches, branding activation campaigns a lot related to the value which you deliver to people for free through social media. So, what of your content changing lives? What of your content building these gateways towards your solution? These gateways through which people start their customer journey from free content towards your product. Think about this. Opposed to the prices for branding campaigns, they feel it's like a lot because they don't see the direct. So when you build this balance, you will be able to build the long-term campaigns. You will go through any type of recession in a safer way, because you will build relationships, and all the recessions, all the turbulences in the markets are temporary. Today they're here, 5 years from now they're not here. It's very important to understand that build these relationships is very important for any business. And just to the end, I want to tell you, if you will say that, why do I need the sales campaign at all? Let me build relationships, let people just connect with me. Without sales, there is no business. So sales activation campaigns are very important. They are very important, very effective, and they allow your business to live, help more people, create this free content after all. So sales campaigns are very, very important. However, when they just alone, without that fuel driven through branding campaigns, they just don't work. So this is my foundational take on the 60/40 method or proportion by Les Binet and Peter Field. And I will talk a lot more about the fast thinking and strategic long-term thinking, which is also involved with the 60/40 method. This is different theory of the market, because when we talk about the long-term thinking, the logical thinking, and the fast active thinking, which is related to our emotional decision making processes, these are different parts of the brain. And I will have different video where we will be talking about this. I will connect it to this video and you will be able to watch it. And I will see you for the next time. Feel free to subscribe and enjoy this video. Comment below if you have any questions about this, and I'll be happy to answer it. See you in the next video.